What's up, everybody? Mr. Dude here, and what I wanted to do today was talk to you about another game I like to play quite often. Haven't played nearly as much lately, but this is kind of a vlog, if you will, of sorts about American Truck Simulator. So, SCS Software released a blog post today, as of the date of this recording, talking about some of the things they do under the hood, because I think I'm with a lot of people when we talk about the concerns that we have as to what SCS is doing in regard to the game. And so, with American Truck Simulator and the rescale, and when we are going to see that to its completion. So what they've done is they kind of wanted to show us some of the things that they do when they talk about the considerations that they take when they are building a new portion of the game. So, first things first, I wanted to go through and kind of highlight one of the images here when it kind of shows basically, what they do when they look at something. So this is Sierra Vista in Arizona, I believe. Pretty sure the Sierra Vista. I think it's labeled as that. And I don't necessarily see. Yeah, this is down by Nogales, actually. So basically, this is Sierra Vista, and how off to the right is basically the actual overhead shot and the outline of the road, if you will. And then this is what, on the left is basically, hey, this is what the map makers did with that. So they kind of got the general outline of the road. They did see that there's a quarry out there, so they put a little dirt road out to the quarry. You got a little retention pond there. You've got the mall, and then they went ahead and put like a big store in the middle, and then you've got some other drop points and such. So they kind of get that. And then if you look off to the right, they kind of talk about the different things that they wanted to highlight. Hey, here's some houses, here's a pool, here's some of this, some of that. They kind of incorporate it into the game. And that's basically the general idea as to how they do this. Now, I kind of oversimplified it, if you will, but that's basically what they do. So, so they kind of go through and say, okay, you're trying to map out roads, but you're trying to map out the essence of the road, and you're not necessarily trying to, map out exactly what it's going to look like or not look like, and such. So that's what they talk about. This is how they try to go through and map these roads, and what they have to do. And I was trying to see if there was anything that they highlighted here in the image that maybe, just maybe, we've not seen, but I'm not honestly seeing anything, in the game, when it comes to, when it comes to a updated map. I've not seen anything where it shows where, okay, yeah, we've got, they kind of gave away something with the new cities or anything like that. It's just, everything is just basically kind of the same. So they're just kind of highlighting the different things, how they kind of go through about mapping. This is another example of some of the kind of research that they do. And so they kind of go through and you got the points of interest that they begin to outline. And then they, okay, yeah, we're going to use this road, that road, But what I also see, though, is, okay, so you have Nogales right here. You have the Mexican border. But you also, what I feel is kind of a giveaway, at least on this side, is I feel like they're looking at they're obviously adding more roads. That's going to be a given in the rescale, but you can kind of get an idea of what they're kind of looking at as far as what they're going to add and where. So that's going to be pretty cool if they kind of go through and kind of build all these roads in. And the other thing this feels like, I feel like this indicates to me is, it seems to me that the map in New Mexico seems pretty well polished. You see kind of where they've got the road networks tied in. Hidalgo County and Very Large Array, and up here Navajo and Shiprock and all that on the north side, and you can kind of see where they're going to tie those roads in. So that's very, very interesting to me, to see, okay, looks like they're going to go into New Mexico here. I'm not going to say pretty quickly, but that's probably where they're going to go next. They're going to introduce the rescale, and you're probably going to be able to get New Mexico, because it just seems to me that that's what's been developed. And then also I'm sure that Four Corners will be in the game. I mean, just the way they've got this road, the road's kind of routed up there. I'm sure they'll highlight Four Corners. They don't have it highlighted it might be one of these pictures where they actually show it, but I feel like Four Corners will be something where they will highlight that game, highlight it in the game. And so you see here a couple of the guys. He was interviewed for the blog. You can see this developer's kind of opinion about the process of building the game, and trying to build road networks and get the general feel of the road and what they want to highlight and how they want to highlight in the different aspects of the game and what they could do. So you can kind of see him here. That left screen's got some models that he could use in the map, and then that looks like a reference image on the right there. So it's just kind of blending those two worlds together to kind of get something that comes out in the game. This image here is literally like a bunch of textures that they use for Arizona. So obviously you got the Arizona grass and rocks and sandstones and sand and shrubs and flowers and grass, and so you got California. You kind of see California. You kind of see some dirt, generic dirt, field cut blades, field cut concrete. So you see some California, some Arizona textures. So that's kind of basically what they do, to kind of fill it out, is they come up with, get some imagery of texture and just kind of say, okay, this is what this is. They, look to apply that to the game so that it's unique to the area in which you're driving in, so you get a better feeling of immersion when you're driving through those areas. Obviously here you're kind of looking through and another person kind of doing some work here, doing some more of the developing in the modeling and such. So, it kind of gives you an indicator as to the level of details that these guys go through. And then this image here, they kind of saw this house and thought, okay, this is pretty cool. So this is the image, that they took, and then they put it into the game, and that's what they got out of it. And that looks, pretty freaking cool, as far as kind of the things they're doing. So yeah, I really do believe that they are working on things. I feel and I thought, I'm going to pull this image back up because I felt like there was an indicator in here somewhere in which, other than that, I really felt like there was something that really leaned me towards saying that it's going to be New Mexico. But I feel like New Mexico is going to be the next DLC based off of this image right here. This image highlights very robust road network that's just basically, it just feels like, okay, this is what we've kind of decided on. And so that's what we're going to highlight in the state. And I'm not saying that they're going to release this next week or anything like that. I feel like we're a ways away. I mean, they felt comfortable with announcing the France DLC, and it's been 9 months, and we've heard nothing about a release date. Now, which SCS is usually typically very secretive about a release date until they are very, very sure. But the previous blog post to this about Euro Truck Simulator basically stated that it was going to be quite some time, that they had many weeks to go on the France DLC, because they did go through and they're redoing some of France, especially Paris and such. They went through and redid it and kind of, trying to do it a bit more justice, and kind of trying to do the same process as they're doing with American Truck Simulator. Now, I am concerned, though, that I can't have, we have 3 states in the game, and yes, they've done the rescale, but 3 state, that leaves, 45 contingents of the lower 48. 1 state per year, even 2 states per year, you're talking 20 some odd years. That's not going to happen. By then, people are going to lose interest. So if they're looking to map the United States, I feel like they're going to have to move a bit more quickly. And I'm hoping that, once the rescale is done and they say, okay, this is our new map scale, they can continue to devote people towards, gaining the assets. And so I hope what they're doing is they basically have, I hope they have like a recon element that goes in and says, okay, what does Utah look like? What does the grass look like? What does this look like? What do we want to show of Utah? Okay, we want to highlight this, and they kind of do that initial research and say, okay, and then somebody goes in and says, okay, this is the road network, and then the team starts to go in there and actually apply the modeling and do the things within the game. If they work on a tiered approach like that would hopefully kind of speed things up, instead of somebody kind of working the process from conception all the way to finished product. So I do still have hopes for American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2. I think SCS has a lot of ambitious goals, and they've got to. There's a lot that they want to get accomplished, and I'm hoping that that they can see it through, because this is these are fun games. They're relaxing. The modding community has taken to them and been able to do some wonderful things. And I'm hoping that the studio can continue to do the things that they are mapping out for us. And I look forward to seeing what they have for us in the future. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you're interested, if the video suited your needs, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel for all things Farming Simulator. We'll get into some trucking and stuff, I'm sure, and some flight sim. Any of that simulator stuff is kind of the games I like to play. And so, yeah, just go kind of, take a peek at those videos and let me know what you think. Thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.